Open-minded ka ba? Gusto mo ba kumita within 15 days? Guaranteed. Easy money ba hanap mo? These are some of the questions investment scammers often ask. If it's too good to be true, then it's probably not true. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to our channel. It's me again, Ingrid from FAMI. In this video, we are going to talk about something very serious. Sadly, Filipinos have been victims of different investment scams this past few years. It is quite alarming, and most of the time, we cannot stop scammers from earning through a wrongful act. But as a responsible Filipino investor, the best thing that we could do is to avoid them. Today, we are going to talk about 4 simple ways on how to avoid investment scams. If you are new here and you want to be financially literate, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Our channel is about money and investments. One of the corporate social responsibility of FAMI is to raise awareness and impart the importance of being financially literate. Scamming is one of the most hateful crimes, and being scammed can make you feel helpless. That is why today we are setting aside everything to bring you one step closer to becoming a smarter, wiser, and protected investor. Before we head over to the ways on how you can avoid scams, let me tell you the most common scam in the Philippines. That is Ponzi Scheme, which is an illegal business practice or scam promising high returns by paying existing investors with the money collected from new investors. You see, the returns doesn't come from actual investments. They simply get money from new investors, then on to the next investor, and so the scam grows larger on paper. Let me give you an example from the Italian man himself, Mr. Charles Ponzi. In 1920, he had an incredible investment opportunity for people who lived in New England. He came up with the Ponzi get-rich-quick scheme, guaranteeing 50% return in just 45 days. There were actually no investment returns. Mr. Ponzi was just using the money of new investors to pay back the previous investors. Eventually, the scheme fell apart. Ponzi ended up owing $7 million and spent 14 years in jail.
What?
Guys, the moral lesson is, don't let greed get the best of you. It's really not worth it. Now, how do we protect ourselves from these con artists? How do we become more responsible investor? Number 1, do your research. The tricky thing about spotting investment scams is that they appear legitimate. In short, magaling sila manloko. So do your own research. Google the company offering the investment, and if you found their website, check the About the Company section to know more about the company and also their license registration. The good thing about mutual funds is that they are more extensively regulated than any other pooled investment options, and that's great news to every investor. Mutual funds must comply with a strict set of rules that are monitored by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So hindi kayo basta-basta maloloko. Kaya before you invest, you can actually search for the investment company's registered name online. So let's flip over to my screen to know how. First is to go to sec.gov.ph. And go to their online services. Under here, you will find the SEC Capital Market Participants Registry System. So here you will find capital market institutions like FAMI. Please take note that if a company has a primary SEC registration only, they are only allowed to do regular business. So let me explain further. It does not automatically give a company the authority to engage in all types of business activities, such as lending, selling of stocks and bonds, investment contracts, investment taking, and so on. But as an investor, ano ang kailangan natin? That is what we call a secondary SEC registration or secondary license. This is a special legal grant or permit to corporations and partnerships to undertake and engage in special and particularized business activities, such as but not limited to brokerage or selling of securities and public solicitation of investment funds. To be honest, if someone handles you a primary or secondary license, just go here Here you can search for the company and you can also see the list of registered companies here below. So let's try to search Metro. Here you will see First Metro Asset Management, First Metro Investment Corporation, First Metro Securities Brokerage Corporation, and Metropolitan Bank and Trust Company. Quick fun fact, FAMI and FMSBC are sister companies, and both of them are under FMIC, which is the First Metro Investment Corporation. That is the investment arm of Metro Bank. So what better company to be invested in? But wait, there's more. You can also search for individuals who are soliciting you with investments. Let's have an example. My relationship manager in FAMI, which you have seen in our last video, Miss Ruth Duterte. So just indicate the last name, Duterte, then the first name, which is Cruz. Then here you will see her registration number. You can also check what company she is affiliated with. Guys, professionals that are listed here are the only ones who can sell mutual funds, stocks, and bonds. In mutual funds, we call them Certified Investment Solicitor. That is why for me, it is safe to invest with them because they should be aware of the rules and regulations by SEC. Hashtag bawal ang scammer. If you can find the investment company online, it probably is a scam. There's no such thing as being too careful, especially when your hard-earned money is at stake. Next is ask questions. Scammers are counting on you not to investigate before you invest. Fight them off by doing your own digging. You can ask them what are the fees, are there risks involved, how does the company generate investment return. New investors usually make this mistake, which is to believe a person who talks sophisticated and impressively articulates sales talk. Guys, they've done their spill 1,000 times. It doesn't mean that if a person talks fluently and coherently, doesn't mean they're right. Third is, I really do believe in this, which is to take your time and relax. If stable and legitimate investment company yan, hindi siya basta-basta mawawala. Take your time to evaluate your comfort zone in taking on risk and be suspicious of time-limited offers and high-pressure salespeople. Scammers tend to rely on urgency. Often, if you ask them, saan kayo naka-invest? They would say, basta sa stocks. How can you trust a salesperson with that kind of answer? And dyan papasok ang last advice ko sa inyo. A legitimate and honest investment company should be transparent. In FAMI's website, you can see everything there is to know about each mutual fund. We update every data needed weekly, from fund performance to what kind of investment securities the funds are invested in. It saddens me to say that scams have existed for hundreds of years, and there is no doubt that they will cease to exist. That's why it is important to realize that risk and return are related. So if you are being offered by some investment with potential high return, please do know that the offer will come with high risk as well. That's why I always say, the higher the risk, the higher the return. Let me leave you with something I learned through the years. Everything in life that has meaning, that has value, that has worth, involves work, time, and effort. And just a quick fact, FAMI exists because we just don't do business. We have an advocacy, and that is to help transform Filipinos from savers to investors. And now that you know more, you can now be a wiser investor. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of videos in store for you. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for our next videos. We'd be happy to hear from you. And thanks guys for watching. Bye!